Hey everybody, it's Friday, and Fridays is story time. The reason I tell stories on my channel is I've told all the stories to my kids over the years. And nowadays they're like, Dad, I heard that. I know that story. So now I tell it to you guys, because you haven't heard any. So guys, sit back, enjoy, and let's get started. That part you heard right there, I should put that to some music a little bit and use that as my intro for story time. What do you guys think? Leave me comments. We leave that for story time because it's true. My kids heard all my stories over the years, and every time I try to tell a story, they're like, Dad, we've heard that. We've heard that. So, we're going to tell them to you guys. Well, I got a good one today. And this happened back in 1993. It was approximately about 2 months before I married my wife. I just got done taking a little cat nap in my chair for about the last 10-15 minutes. I sat back and I got relaxed and I fell asleep for about 10 minutes, so I'm still trying to wake up. Okay, back in 1993, let's see. My wife and I was making plans and was getting things together for our wedding and everything, and we both were working our butts off. Because weddings cost a lot of money. So we was working as many hours as we could possibly get in, and we just didn't have much time to see each other. Didn't have much time of anything, you know. Then at the end of the day, we go home, you know. My wife wasn't living with me at the time, but she was with me most of the time. At the end of the day, I go home, and instead of me getting rest, all my friends would pile over. So that was pretty much my life, you know, back in them days. You know, I get off work, get home, all my friends would pile over, and you just couldn't get any rest anywhere. Back then, it was early summer, and there was a thing going on at that particular time. The police were looking for a blue Festiva that was in our town somewhere. And they had told people, if you see this blue Festiva, stay away, do not approach, call 911 immediately. They're also telling everybody to keep an eye on your kids. Don't let your kids play unsupervised, and don't let your kids play in the park by themselves. So they was looking for this guy in this blue Festiva. Didn't really ever find out why, but they were looking for him really, really hard. Well, back in them days, I drove a blue Festiva. That's right. I did. So, I guess you could kind of see where this story's going. Well, yep, that's laundry you see behind me. Yep, I got actually a good day to dry it on. So, one night, my wife and I got off work, and instead of going straight home, we decided, like, hey, let's go down on the back roads here. Now, you may not know this, but to look where I'm at, this is a very busy road, extremely busy. There's cars coming up and down on this every few seconds. You wouldn't think it, but just no more than a block up the road is country. That's right. As a matter of fact, sometimes real late at night, I can hear the cows go moo. So what Ange and I would do is, you know, we would like to go for a ride on the country roads, and this particular night we wanted to discuss our wedding, you know. We wanted to start making more plans. So I was like, hey, let's just take a trip through the country roads. So that's what we did. We used to go for a ride on the country roads a lot. So this particular night was about a mile down that way. And yeah, there's a country road right down that way. You guys can't see, but there is. And I decided to stop the car. I stopped the car. Windows were already down. I was like, listen, what do you hear? And he's like, nothing. I said, exactly. I said, we may not be able to pull this off now, but one day we're going to get a place in the country and we're going to hear nothing. Now, you got to remember what I said before, you know, before I started the story. When I go home, all my friends will pile in. It was like, no, half the night long. Back in them days, I used to operate on 3 and 4 hours of sleep and get up and go and do it again. So we didn't really hear the quiet often. So I stopped the car, and, you know, there are some houses around, but few and in between. So after sitting there for about no more than 10 seconds, it was no longer than 10 seconds, guys, I got to moving again. And we slowly drove up the road. We got to the intersection down here. Now, down here, you have the road going straight, and then you have a road coming down a hill this way, and then you got behind me. As soon as I hit that intersection where that stop sign is, I had a cop coming right down the hill, a cop in front of me, and a cop pulled up in back of me, all at the same time. Oh yeah, our cops out here are good. They nailed me all, they all emerged at me right, boom, right then and there. Turn their lights on, and all I know is they're all getting out of their cars, and they're shouting at me, "Step out of the car with your hands in the air." I was like, what? What the hell's going on? So I opened the car. They told me to open the car door with, I can't remember which hand. And, you know, from the outside, they asked me to open it from the outside. I got out, my hands are on my head. And I step out, and all I can see is the cop behind me has his gun drawn. And they had another cop with him, his gun was drawn. The cop on this way was drawing their guns. The cop, I mean, they all have their guns pointed right on me. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? I started, you know, my mind started racing. What the hell did I do? What the hell did I do? Oh my God. Put it to you this way, if I had to go pee, I probably would have pissed myself right then and there. Well, I step out, and as I turn around, one of the police officers, thank God, was one of my friends. I knew him. He's like, hold it. That's just Mike. And next thing you know, the guns were all holstered, and he comes up to me, and I would love to tell you what his name is, but I'm not going to mention in the video. He's no longer a police officer for our town, but I think he might have retired. So he comes up to me, and I was like, what the hell is going on? He says, hold on, we got trucks. Oh, that's the downside living where I'm at. You got traffic it's starting to get on my nerves. But anyway, he comes up, he says, let me tell you what's going on. He says that blue Festiva, that we're still looking for it. And we just had a call a few minutes ago saying you stopped down there, a blue Festiva stopped down there on the back road and sat idle. I said, that was me. And you know, I stopped and I told the cop, I told my friend what we did. He says, Mike, he says, listen to me. I need you to take that car and get home with it and drive your dad's car. Whatever it is, do not drive this car right now. I was like, okay. So I basically go home, and I had a good story to tell my friends, They all thought it was funny, even though it scared me, almost urinated myself. They all thought it was funny, So a couple days went by, and the police officers finally caught the guy they were looking for. And guess what? It was a blue Chevette. Not a blue Festiva. A blue Chevette. I have no idea what the guy did. It must have been something bad. I mean, I can't remember. I did at the time, I'm sure. But yeah, it was a blue Chevette. But yeah, all we did was just go down in the back road, and I stopped the car for about 10 seconds to tell Ange, listen to the quiet. And that caused so much problems. Because when I got down here, I'm telling you folks, that was spooky. When they had me step out of my car with my hands in the air, but I put them on my head, and I seen these guns all trained on me, every one of these guns. First thing through my mind is, oh, please don't shoot. And thank God one of the police officers I did know. See, when I grew up in this town, basically. You get to know people. And actually, one of the police officer I knew was one of our town cops. The other two were state cops. So they didn't know who I was. And he's like, that's Mike, I know him. And then their guns went to the holster, and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, what? What's going on? And he's like, did you stop your car down here? I was like, yeah. And I told him, well, I said, listen, Angie and I are getting ready to get married, and all I did was stop the car. I said, listen, it's quiet. I said, one day we're going to have a house. Actually, my actual words was to my wife, well, soon to be wife at the time was, one day I'm going to build our house in the country where it's quiet. He says, well, the car you're driving, and a neighbor seen you out there, seen something, and called 911. And, imagine now, we didn't drive, we had about a mile to go until we got back to the road, right? Or should I say we had a mile to go until we got to that intersection. I think I drove about maybe at the most 30 miles an hour. How long does it take to drive a mile going 30 miles an hour? What? About a minute or so? These cops were right on me. I mean, the one was even right behind me. I didn't even see him behind me. As soon as I got there, these cops all emerged at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. I even remember, I remember asking Angie, I said, where the hell the cop behind me came from? Is beyond me. Yeah, 1993. Yeah, a couple months before we got married. Yeah, there's the story, guys. Sorry it wasn't a long one today. Today, I'm supposed to be headed over to Florence, Kentucky to a shoe store looking for a pair of shoes. And today I'm not really looking to buy Nike. Now, it ain't because of all the garbage going on about Nike. I don't get into that stuff. I'm sorry, but I don't. It's because I need something that's going to be better for me and the way I walk. Now, when I walk, my wife always says my feet kind of lean inside. And so they have a good pair of running shoes that's made for people like me. But I have to go over there to get them. So yeah, today, if everything goes right and I got the money for it, if they're still in my price range, my luck, they probably won't be. I'm going to get a new pair of walking shoes. And I get to break them in tonight. That's right. Break them in tonight. Alright guys, I want you to enjoy your weekend. We're supposed to, okay, real quick, if you're going to get any of that hurricane, right now it's more states than I thought. I know it's North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. I mean, if you're in any of that mix, please be safe, okay? Please. And if they're asking you to evacuate. Listen what the authorities say, because they're only saying that for your own good. So my prayers, and from what I remember this morning, I think it went down to a category 2, which don't mean nothing, because the big threat was what I said the other day, was the rains. I don't know, did I tell you guys that, or did I tell a friend? Well, I told somebody the other day, the big threat is the huge, tremendous, the downpours. Hell, my friend Heather alone says she's going to get 10 plus maybe 20 inches of rain alone. Another friend of mine, I don't know if he was exaggerating, he's talking about 40 plus inches of rain. So, yeah, if you're in any of these areas, please be safe. Till next time, guys, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday. Come on, let's get out of here.